Hello and welcome to a Black Ops video where I go over my opinion on the top 5 weapons you have to use in Black Ops 4 to possibly get yourself like high kill games and just a good KD ratio. So your opinion may differ on these guns, but these are the 5 guns that I think are the most powerful weapons, and with these guns I usually go really well compared to every other gun in the game. So going in order from 5th to 1st, at number 5 we have the SG with the strobe light. So I find the SG to be extremely powerful with the strobe light, seeing that whenever you're at closer range, you just blind your enemies and you can move very quickly with the strobe light. So you should know in Call of Duty, when you aim down sights with your gun, you move slower. But with the strobe light, you don't aim down sights, it's almost like you're still hip firing. So while you have strobe light equipped, you're able to move very quickly around the enemy. All you need to do is just blind them once and they won't know where you are, and you can just move around and dodge all the bullets they shoot at you. But people counter the strobe light SG by shooting at you from a far away distance. That's why the gun isn't exactly my most recommended, but it does deserve top 5 since it is extremely powerful up close, and you will most likely be able to win every 1v1 you come across. And this gun should do well against the Spitfire. Spitfire has a very fast fire rate and usually outguns everything, but guns like the Titan, people are camping at a distance, trying to shoot you from a distance, and the strobe light won't be effective from that sort of range. And this is sort of the class I use for the SG, so I use like the max load, laser sights, and strobe lights. It's really like your preference, but I do recommend the laser sight. That really helps a lot when you're trying to aim in with the strobe light, so you know exactly where you are shooting. But that would be my recommendation, just laser sight and strobe light, and the rest can be just up to you. At number 4 I have the Maddox, and so the reason why I chose this gun is because it is just extremely powerful, whether it's up close or at long range, and it seems to just really outgun anything. Except for a couple weapons, I'd say like Spitfire up close, it can't really outgun. But it's like a hybrid between a submachine gun and assault rifle, and it just feels really good up close and at long range. No matter the distance of the enemy, you should be able to melt them down in a matter of seconds. I also do think that the operator mod for the Maddox is not necessary since it's already extremely powerful, and the Echo Fire doesn't really help a whole lot on the Maddox. But yeah, the Maddox as a whole is just a really good gun and works very effective at long range, short range, and it just shoots very quick and has good damage, good impact, and overall just a great weapon. So I'm going to put this as number 4. There's 3 other guns I do think are better than the Maddox. And so moving on to the third best, I would have to say is the Titan. So the Titan LMG is just a ridiculous gun, and it seems like it just has no recoil, and it's almost like you're just shooting a laser beam, and all you need to do is aim it at the enemy and should be killing them in no time. The fire rate and the damage of the Titan are really good, and so you could really just use this weapon and do really well with it without attachments. And there has been countless amount of times where myself or other people have been using the Titan and they're just running around using it as if it's like a submachine gun and outgunning people at close range. I cannot recall in a previous time in other Call of Duty games where an LMG has been this good. So for the Titan, I don't think the operator mod is really necessary. It's just extremely strong how it is, and you should do very well with it, just how it is. So here's my Titan class. I like to just use these 3 attachments and the reticle, and you can use anything that you feel comfortable with. You don't need to use these attachments, just the gun as a whole is very strong, and it'll do really well regardless of what you have on it. Next up in second place is the Skull Splitter Mozu, and this is a weapon that I absolutely love, and I think the Skull Splitter is an attachment that you must have on the Mozu. The Mozu alone without Skull Splitter and just like high caliber is already really good, so with Skull Splitter it makes it so much more better. And I don't see a lot of players running around with the Mozu. People may not know like the potential this gun has and how powerful it is. People shrug it off and say it's just a pistol, it can't be that powerful, but it acts as if it's a sniper and it shoots at long range and short range, has 6 bullets in the mag, and what the Skull Splitter does is that it makes it a one tap in the head from any range, so you can basically use it like a sniper or up close, and it works really well. So the Mozu I think is one of the most powerful weapons. I do really recommend you use this. Very rarely I come across someone using Skull Splitter Mozu, and every time they're using it, they're going very well, getting a lot of kills, and just I always end up complaining about other people using it. It's just an extremely powerful gun. So this was the first game I loaded up using the Skull Splitter Mozu after a couple weeks of not using it, and in this first game of using it, ended up going 57-2, so that is the potential this weapon has, and just, I recommend you get it right away. Definitely a must use gun and extremely powerful. So for the Mozu class, you need Scavenger since it runs out of ammo very quickly, and the scope with high caliber, speed loader and skull splitter I find to be the best attachments for it. With the stim shot and like gun ho to go with it, this definitely will get you a lot of kills this class. I think this is the best class you could have for the Mozu. And lastly, in the number one spot, what I think to be the best weapon in the entire game would have to be the dual wield Sorgs. Now I think Sorgs deserve first place because I would say this is the most overpowered weapon in the entire Black Ops 4 game. I think Sorgs are the number one gun that can just outgun any weapon in the game up close, and I think it also counters the strobe lights for the SG since it just requires no skill at all, and all you need to do is just aim it at the enemy. Don't matter where you're aiming, it just needs to be in their general direction and you'll kill the enemy in seconds. But definitely with the Sorgs, I think Suppressor is really good with the dual wield, and also Scavenger is a must need since this also runs out of ammo very quickly. But I'd say Sorgs would have to be the best. A lot of maps are very close range, or you could only just run near the close range parts of maps, and you'll almost be guaranteed to outgun anyone. People need to get lucky shots on you where all you need to do is aim in their general direction to kill them. So when it comes to gunfights, you'll be working a lot less than other players. Players will have to be aiming at you, make sure they hit their shots if they want to kill you in time, because with the Sorgs, it can just take seconds, it can just take nanoseconds to kill with the Sorgs, and I find this gun just to be the most ridiculous one of all. And I'm just waiting for them to nerf the gun and just remove dual wields altogether because of just how insane I've seen this gun perform in game between me and my friends and just other players. And so Sorgs were actually the first gun that I got my nuclear with, and if that doesn't make you want to use dual wield Sorgs, I don't know what will. But if you've never used dual wield Sorgs, I'll tell you now, you've got to at least try them once. This is just an insane gun. So here's my class for the dual wield Sorgs, and I do recommend you copy this down because I think this would have to be the best class. Definitely fast mag suppressor, dual wield, which is the operator mod, with the stim shot because you're going to be running into battle a lot. Scavenger because you're running out of ammo very quickly. Dexterity for jumping and sliding, but if you don't have that, you can always just use lightweight. And Ghost, since you're going to be running around most of the time and you'll be undetected by UAVs all the time. So that'll be it for this. These are my top 5 guns that I would recommend you using in Black Ops 4 multiplayer. So just to conclude this off, I'll just say thank you for watching and be sure to try out these guns because I have a lot of fun using these.